But for the 2023 budget, government actually indicated that it was going to recruit 1,570 staff for the Office of Government Machinery. You know, at the time the government is saying that there's a freeze on employment, but there is still a request for government machinery.
There's a freeze on public sector employment. That is what I know. And it comes with all that. There's been a lot of, we still have unemployment issues and all that, but where we got into and the support we need from the IMF, we need to cut some of these things. What I know is there's a freeze. There'll be a freeze on public sector employment from 2023. I don't know of any new recruitments that have been done.
It was captured in the budget.
But as we also go on,
it was contained in the budget. But government machinery is public sector employment.
Annie, government machinery goes beyond just the president and his
but it's public sector.
As we go on, there are new measures that will be put in place. There are new things that will be put in place. You need people to do other things. You need people to do some of these things that we are talking about. That request is there.
You see, you're not coming clear with communication and explanation to some of these things. At the point that we find ourselves in, when government says, I'm putting a freeze on employment, and yet it's captured in the budget that we're taking 1,570 more hands in government machinery. Where exactly are they going to put them? What are they? They are JDs. What exactly are they going to be doing?
Even with our previous IMF programs, there's a freeze on new recruitment, but day in, day out, people retire, people resign, people abandon posts, people vacate their posts. Their replacements now. That is not new recruitment. Technically, you are bringing in people to fit in to do the work that has to be done based on what each establishment
is. These are replacements. It's different from government recruiting more at the number of 1,000. This is not this 1,570. It's not coming to replace retired.
And all that is still some form of recruitment, but it's the level of recruitment that we are talking about.
No,
there's going to be a freeze on public sector employment. This will not be the first. The last IMF program we went through, there was a freeze on public sector employment. We've had opposition also talk about high number of recruitments and all that, the size and all that. All these things are done. It's a budget. There are projections. These things will be needed. When a request is made for employment, it goes through it goes through technical clearance, it goes to financial clearance. These requests, just because they've been put in the budget, doesn't mean that it's automatic. It will go through a process. Yes, we are going through negotiations. We are going through restructuring our debts to meet sustainable levels. Those are the things we are looking at now to sustain our economy, to look at enhancing our
So you are saying that with a request of 1,570 more workers at government machinery, we should wait for the processes to start, the process of recruitment to start?
It's a request that has been put there. There's a freeze on public sector recruitment. And like I explained to you, at every point in time, people leave post, people resign, people retire. If we go to public service right now, if
I'm telling you, Laratu, I'm telling you that this new request of 1,570 is not a number to replace retired.
Come again, honey. Let's pull that bit. I don't have my copy of the budget here. Let's pull out that bit of the budget and let's look at it properly.
So let me read this. Let me just read this story to you. This is an MP. This is an MP
from the budget.
I'm reading from Ghana website.
No, let's read from the budget. If you have the copy.
Let me finish. Let me finish. When I finish, we'll pull out the budget because of time. Member of Parliament, hold on. If you don't even accept this report, then you can tell me. Member of Parliament for North Tongue. Samuel Kujo Tobacco North Tongue.
Oh, okay.
has alleged that the government has made a special provision in the 2023 budget to employ 1,570 staff at the Office of the Government Machinery, despite its intent to ban public sector recruitment in 2023. Now, according to the MP, the move by the government shows that the President, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, is not willing to lead by example. In the tweet he shared on Thursday, December 1, 2020, he says that the MP requested, also questioned the attempt by the government to hide recruitment from the people of Ghana and the International Monetary Fund International Monetary Fund IMF. Now, the Akufo-Addo government announced a total freeze in the public sector job during the 2023 budget presentation. But why is the notorious Office of the Government Machinery exempted? Now, the page 230 of the 2023 budget, page 230 of the 2023 budget, let me just write it so I don't forget. Review the higher staff strength ceiling of 3,681 up from 2,111 contained on page 273 in the 2022 budget. This means that government projects to recruit an additional 1,757. So it means that the number was 2,111, right? And government projected in 2023 to have 3,681. That is adding 1,570 in 2023. This is against the backdrop of the overall public sector jobs that are expected to decline from 886,906 in 2022 to 804,240 in 2023. That's the projected job losses by the distress in 82,666. So the fundamental question is the President Akufo-Addo, also the President Machinery, leading by example.
Honey, you started.
So now we can read the budget.
Now let's read the budget.
Okay, you got it?
I just got someone send it to me. So.
Okay.
Page 230. That's the Honorable MP's understanding is of what is in that appendix, right?
Okay, so if you...
have you gotten there?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you don't have the copy?
Right, I have the copy. I just don't know where I actually saved it. So you go ahead and read it.
So I'm at page 230. You see, what is on page 2? You see, that's what I'm telling you. Let's read.
Have you gone through the appendixes?
I'm at page, it's appendix 7. Annie, it's appendix 7. 2023 OLGS and RCC's budget ceilings. Office of Government Machinery. Staff strength, 54,563. 2023 COE cost is there. So what are we talking about here? Unless there's something else on page 230 that I can see.
Have you checked page 2? Okay, I have mine
page
now.
What? Because what is there is budget ceilings. That's appendix 7. And the first item there is Office of Government Machinery. There's a staff strength, then there's a cost of COE, compensation of employees. Unless there's another page that the honorable member is making his allegations from.
Allegations? It's not an allegation, it's in the budget.
The story you read said the honorable
Listen, I'm actually just trying to scroll to the Lara 2. It's not, unless you tell me you haven't gone through the budget.
You said page 330.
230?
Yes, that's what you said. Or which page did you say?
What was I? Let me refer to the story again so that we don't miss it. So it was what? Okay, so I have his tweet now. It says, okay, so page 230, right? Of the 2023 budget reviews the highest staff strength of ceiling of 3,681, and from 2011 111 contained at the page 273.
273.
Yes. Oh my God, you made me lose what I opened. Okay. So let's see.
Anybody who has the budget can look at.
Yeah, of course.
273.
So let's check 273, and then we can do the comparison.
Okay. So I'm at.
Are you there?
No, not 273.
Okay. So Gabby also kept us waiting for a bit. I think that
Yeah.
really, I don't know. She texted me. I haven't read the text yet.
Okay, so
have you seen the appendix? Page 2.
So page 273. You said page 273.
Yeah.
That's sector ministry, economic sector, employee compensation, goods and services, capex, total. Those are the items there. Let me.
Okay.
Unless he did some, now because I can see.
That's what you want to do,
I can see,
and that will even waste our time because it's on. It's quite
I can see Office
even
of Government Machinery
easy.
Here.
Laura too.
The table, Annie. The budget is a document. It's a reference document. It's printed. It's online. If you go to the Ministry of Finance website right now, you get a copy of it. Hard copies are there for everybody's reference. The Honorable
Imagine who just walked
NP
in.
has made some allegations. They've quoted.
It's not an allegation.
Laura you read said
government is adding.
I can see what he's
government
talking.
is adding.
Government is adding. Well, show me where in the budget government is adding.
But you're on your budget, can't you see? Can't you see your appendixes?
Let's put the conversation we're having in context. You said page 230. We went there. What was alleged was not there. Now we come to page 273, right? That has the various economic sectors, their employee compensation, goods and services, capex, and the total for each sector. What you are talking about, I can find it.
Okay, that is you who can find it. But it's in
and
budget,
that's
so
the document.
You may want to.
Any citizen can get access to the
Of course. Oh my goodness.
It's 200.
You see, you're making me. I'm accessing I'm trying to access the documents on my phone, and every time I just go off, it goes off. So I have to restart again, and it's wasting my time because I have to go all the way to the appendixes to get the screen. I even want to put it on the screen so that you find it. But and you're not helping me with your phone either. So maybe
I can give you my phone. It's here.
No, let me see if I can see on my phone because I cannot see it on my phone. Can you? Okay, it's okay. All right. So just guess who walked in is Gabriela, who is coming to close us at 9:30. But Gabi, you're welcome. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So the point I'm trying to make to Laura to
who's
challenging it
first of all. Laura too
is the fact that
the point
I'm sorry.
No,
the fact
she has had like 45 minutes to talk.
But I didn't.
Please, I'm not spending my 15 minutes.
No, let me put this in.
I'm about to drive like
Gabi,
I will not.
No. Gabi, I will not agree with you. Nobody caused this lateness. So you caused it yourself.
So I'm not entitled to
You are entitled to speak. I'm saying that what's on the table now is government putting or capturing in the budget. And it's even simple for you to do this, calculation. That if we have, if we have government machinery that's put at 2,111, and in 2023 you have captured it as 3,600.
What has been captured as 2,000? What has been captured?
Government machinery. 2,111. I'm trying to locate it.
You locate it, let's look at it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We can still, it's a budget.
Have what you're
Lara too.
We can always have
this conversation. Exactly, this is a budget.
So,
we can always check. Wait, I'm holding on to your phone. I'm using your phone. And I'm saying that if you have the number of 2,111, and we'll try to locate it where it is. And then in 2023 is actually plugged at 3,681. You can just do the math and And then later you can check
when it comes
with
to
the appendices and locate it. When it comes to
compensation of employees, right? Projecting compensation of employees. Even if number of employees doesn't increase, the compensation of employees projection will increase because of all the increments that
But this is not talking about compensation.
No, that's what
talking about
but
the numbers.
What the pages you quoted have compensation of employees and staff strength there. You came to 273. That has the various categories of the budget. So the sector, the COE, the CAPEX, the goods and services, and all that in the total.
Okay.
Give me the page that you want us to make.
Okay. Let me allow Gabby to come in. We'll get to. Let me just take my time and go to Gabby.
This word is
I was just trying to make a point where when you are dealing with the electronic, you have it's like the brief version. So you have the pages different. And then you have the full budget also, and its page is different. So
what we are looking at is the full budget.
Don't worry.
The 330 something pages. That's what we are looking at.
I'm not trying to talk about the page numbering of the budget. I'm going to talk about the content of the budget.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So do you have your
Sorry, I have the electronic, yes.
Less than a year ago, would always sing from her Loratu hymnal 1 verse 1. It starts, and you went to IMF and you did not employ. And because of you, we collapsed the economy. That's why we had to go to the IMF. Today, since the NPP has no other alternative to the economic difficulties which they have imposed on all of us, poor Ghanaian citizens, I was listening to her PR on the IMF. And so, this is one of the measures that we are using to aid the economy. And there's that restructuring. And the unemployment freeze is just one of the measures, but the unemployment freeze is going to increase unemployment. That budget they presented is going to increase poverty. They said they are going with the Jamaican model. Everybody knows that the Jamaican model, for 10 years, 1, it increased poverty in Jamaica. 2, it increased the unemployment rate, especially amongst the youth in Jamaica. Now, but it's typical of Akufo-Addo's administration. I mean, since the man came to office for the past 6 years, all that they have been good at imposing on us is hardship, difficulties, destroying businesses from day one, and they are still at it. For the next 2 years, I have no hope in this administration, and if you have faith, rather pray and hope to God, but not in Akufo-Addo and his administration.
For the next 2 years.
They have nothing to offer this country except hardship, difficulties. You're talking about recruitment into the office of the president, that they are having about 1,000 and something staffers, and they intend
570.
And they intend to employ more. Akufo-Addo's administration is only interested in one thing: servicing NPP apparatchiks. For a country that is complaining of a budget deficit, of difficulties in the economy, that everybody is telling to cut down on expenditure. Look at how much we are spending on scholarships. Who are the beneficiaries of these scholarships? Political apparatchiks. That is what they use to service their youth.
Scholarships.
Yes. So, Annie,
is that to say you weren't offering scholarships during your time?
The point is, we are facing economic difficulties. Government is cutting back on spending. Who are the beneficiaries of the government scholarship? NPP food soldiers. That is what they use. Ghanaians. That's why I said that's what they use to service their youth. Tell your younger sister to go and apply for that scholarship, and then you see her level of Ghanaianism.
Oh.
Today, as we speak,
she will get it.
According to government, maybe because you, Annie.
No.
According to government, Annie, I don't have time.
Then don't push me. Yes, then don't push me to be
interrupted. 4 hours on the road just to come here this morning.
So please, I will do it to your surprise.
Don't worry, Annie. According to this budget, there's a freeze on employment. The word on the street is that there's recruitment going on at prisons, there's recruitment going on at immigration. And yes, government tells us that there's a freeze on public sector employment. Not net freeze, absolute freeze. There's a difference between net freeze There's a difference between net freeze
and
total freeze. They didn't tell us net freeze. We had net freeze. That is an absolute freeze. They are looking to the private sector to now create those jobs. I was listening to a news item yesterday when the private Association of Ghana Industries in Ashanti region were saying that they are not well equipped to provide the jobs that this economy needs to create in order to keep up with the teeming youth. If on average we are having 300,000 students, and this is even an understatement. This is an understatement because I'm even looking at just graduate level alone. If you put all of them together, we're talking about 600,000 per year. The private sector is not resilient enough to create jobs for all these teeming youths. Government now has a freeze. So where should all these people go to? You always tell us that, oh, and we are creating an enabling environment. Which enabling environment? Today, as we speak, lending rate at the banks, the cheapest you get is at 32%. It's between 32% and 40%, if you even get it. And in an economy that is shrinking, where demand has slowed, where people have reduced their purchasing power, Annie, how are they going to be able to pay back these loans? So they're not even willing to go to the banks to take up additional loans to expand because of the contraction in the economy. So for me, Gabriela, to be honest, I have no hope in Akufo-Addo's budget. I have no hope in Loratu's PR. As much as she has tried to make an effort today, it has fallen flat. Listening to her, it was like listening to one of those 1960s records that you can't relate to. I would like to tell the people of Ghana that next week, this weekend, the NDC is having our National Delegates Congress. We are electing leadership, hardworking, dedicated, focused, leaders who are bold and fearless, who can take us into Agenda 2024 to win the journey to the Jubilee House, where we can restore hope to the people of Ghana, where we provide jobs to the teeming youth, where we are unbiased in our economic policy. It has nothing to do with who you know. It has nothing to do with your political affiliations. So long as you are a citizen of this country, you are entitled to benefit from the national cake. And that is exactly what the NDC does and is known for. And from next week, when we finally elect the next crop of leaders to take us to election 2024, we would like to tell the people of Ghana that we will restore hope and dignity back to this country.